Welcome to the Pathways to Wholeness podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and I thank you for joining us for this next episode of meditative teaching. Please note that these meditations were recorded in a tropical environment with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds in the background. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Okay, let's just settle in, relax, maybe take a few breaths and just listen to the music before the teaching starts. It can be hard to understand or accept that underlying all our troubles, whatever they may be, is the fear of our authentic self. Especially if we are not conscious of feeling fear. But it is the root cause of our separation and dissociation from truth. Although we are not actually separate from it, but our experience is that it is not here. We don't live it. It is what we must uncover so that we can be freely expressed. We can be a free expression of the truth. And we can know the peace of the truth. The fear of the authentic self is based on the reactions we experienced when we were authentic. We were conditioned and taught that that was not welcome. And so we had to learn how to control ourselves, how to fit in and be acceptable, and how we could survive in what seemed like hostile environments. In some way, we see our authentic self as the source and cause of our struggles and difficulties. We may not think of it as our authentic self. We think of it more as our bad self, or our wrong self, or our sinful self, whatever way we look at it. But we are convinced that there is something about us that is wrong and is the source of all of our difficulties. We aren't smart enough. We aren't clever enough. We aren't creative enough. Some judgments are held that we are convinced are true. Some of us have had the experience of being seen by someone in a way that is completely different from the way we see ourselves. They seem to see the good in us, and in their seeing the good in us, we find ourselves being different. This is what we must learn to do for ourselves, is to see the good, to be seen, to be open. We are so used to controlling and managing what gets seen that we don't even know what is authentic anymore. So we must remember the truth. We must insist on it. We must overcome our easy forgetting of the truth, which is that there is nothing wrong with us. There is nothing bad about us. None of our judgments are true or real. They are what we learned to do to ourselves in a hostile environment. We are not in that environment anymore. And if we take an honest appraisal of our lives this moment, we may find that we are much better off than we think we are. If we have a reasonable state of health and a reasonable lifestyle, if we have food to eat, if we have choices, then we are better off than a lot of people. what is really important is that we see the truth of ourselves. We give up and let go of all the ways we have judged ourselves, found ourselves wanting, and hated ourselves, and we will see that there is a beautiful self within each one of us, an expression of the one consciousness. Many of us will have some kind of a reaction to the idea that there is something beautiful within us. Our mind will fight it. We'll say no. We'll say that can't be. But it can be, and it is true. Because we are a creation of a perfect consciousness, and we exist within that consciousness, which is perfect. So we are perfect. The ego is going to argue against that in every way it can. But we are not victims of the ego. The ego is not who we are. It is not a power in our lives. It is our own creation, our own idea of what we need to do to survive. It is a strategy, a creation of our imagination. The ego has no power of its own. We energize it. We go along with it. We place our faith and trust in it. It's not difficult to discern the difference between the truth and the ego. Anything that says there's something wrong or bad cannot be true. So in every moment we are faced with the choice. What are we going to hold as true? What are we going to listen to? What are we going to fill our conscious awareness with? It is important that we understand that the resistance we feel to holding the truth, to knowing the truth, is the fear of our authentic selves. Only fear could make us choose suffering. There is no other reason to choose to struggle, to experience the kind of suffering that we do. Why else would we choose it, if not out of fear? Fear is insidious. We hardly ever notice it. And yet we base our lives on it. We limit ourselves. We judge ourselves. We suffer and struggle. We must develop an empathy, a compassion for that fear. We are used to judging it. We may think it is a failure or a weakness or some indication that there is something wrong with us. But that is not how we would respond to anybody else's fear. We would normally seek to soothe and comfort them and help them see the truth. Our fear is perfectly reasonable, given our experience. But now we have the ability to choose whether we want to be guided and live by that fear or not. Now we can choose to become conscious of the way that it has influenced us. It is not an easy path. To face our fears is our biggest challenge. But it is transformational. Many of us had the strategy of being fearless, acting as if we had no fear. That is an extreme act of the ego to completely dissociate from fear. When we acknowledge our fear, we move closer to the truth, because we move closer to our authentic selves. When we acknowledge what is, then we are becoming present to reality. Instead of focusing on what should be, or how things should be, or what should not be, or what is wrong, our attention moves to the present moment. We become available to the wisdom and guidance and intelligence within us. The hardest part about dealing with our fear is the idea that we have to do it alone, that we are on our own. But that is not true. We are never on our own. We are filled with the spirit of that one consciousness, a creative force with unlimited potential, the ability to create anything in any moment. that is the truth of us. What is actually real about us. The idea that we are alone is the ego's idea that separation from the truth is real comes from the ego. It has no basis in truth. So we can choose in this moment what we hold to be true. Can choose to become accepting and allowing of what is. We can choose to be compassionate and forgiving. This is the moment, right now, where we can choose. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you'd like more information on these meditations and teachings, visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Surrender. These are guided meditations designed to support you in letting go of whatever tensions or false ideas you might be holding about how things really are, and reaching a state of peace and surrender. That's Pathways to Surrender. Look for the next episode soon. We're uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.